Hey friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is the first in a series of many post-grad diaries, post-grad problems, post-grad survival guide kind of situation. So today's video is all about how to survive working a 9-to-5. I have been working full-time pretty much since I started working when I was 16. So during the school years when I was in high school, I would work part-time, probably almost 30 hours a week. I would work 3 days during the week and then I think both days of the weekend when I wasn't like in sports. So pretty close to full-time hours. And then in the summers, I didn't really have a lot going on. So I was like, might as well get that cash. So that is what I did. I was working at McDonald's and it was just a really fun group of people when I worked there in high school. So we just had a grand old time and it was like hanging out with friends. So I didn't really mind it all that much. And yeah, that is kind of that. Bailey's chewing on a bone. So if you hear that, I'm sorry. She just jumped up on my bed with it. Anyways, when I dropped out of when I dropped out of college in 2017, I immediately went to my boss and I was like, hey, I have good news and bad news. What do you want to hear first? And they were like, what do you mean you have good and bad news? I was like, well, bad news, I dropped out of college for now. Good news, I'm available to work full-time. And that's what I did. And I have been working full-time ever since February of 2017. Let me tell you, it's exhausting. And even more so exhausting when you are trying to finish your degree, whether you're going part-time or full-time, it's exhausting. You have to have a schedule outside of work. So these are my best tips to survive working your 9-to-5. So I guess before I get into the tips, I should tell you what I do right now. If you haven't been following along and this is your first video of mine that you're watching, I work full-time in an anatomical pathology lab. So anatomical pathology is basically when you go and have surgery and have like a mole or your gallbladder or appendix or anything removed from your body, they send it for pathology. So like think Dr. Pimple Popper. When she says, oh, we're sending this to pathology, I work in a lab that would receive that kind of thing. So it's actually really cool to see different things, as weird as that sounds. I am not really on the sciencey side of it. I basically serve as like a switchboard operator, a problem solver, and a professional yes woman. Like I am so open to learning new things and just learning how the whole process works. So I just pretty much say yes to everything. A more general description of what I do is kind of like an administrative assistant. I do a lot of like pulling logs, faxing to doctors, like the final reports, answering calls, connecting the physicians with the pathologist. I guess if you don't know, a pathologist is a physician, but they have specialized in pathology, which is looking at slides of very, very thin slices of tissue. Yeah, I guess if you want to know more about that, we can do a whole video on that, I guess. I don't know if I'm really even the person to talk about that because I don't really know it from the sciencey side of it. With that, let's get into my actual tips. Tip number 1, I highly suggest that you hang up your work uniforms or outfits as a whole outfit. So I originally started doing this with my scrubs to save closet space and to use less hangers. So I will drape my pants over the little bar and then hang the shirt like normal over top of the pants. And it saves so much time in the morning because I only have to think about grabbing one hanger and, you know, it's so much nicer. It takes up a lot less space and it's just so helpful. And especially for those of you that like don't wear something as simple as scrubs, to work, it would be even more helpful. You can put like a cardigan on it, on the hanger too, a scarf. You could probably put your necklaces on there if you want to get that crazy about it. But yeah, I just highly suggest, whether it's when you do your laundry or like the night before or even, you know, the beginning of the week, however you figure out it works best for you, just hang up your entire uniform or outfit as a whole. I promise you, when you're running late, it is so much easier to just grab one single hanger and know you have everything. It has saved me so many times. You know, I am all about doing things the easiest, most simplest way, and that is definitely one step that up front it takes a little more time, but by the end of it, like when you're actually in the like on the move doing things, chef's kiss, so easy. Okay, so you're probably gonna roll your eyes at me at this next one. But it is to either meal prep or at least make extra servings for yourself when you do cook. So I do this. I don't meal prep at the beginning of the week. I just don't have the mental capacity to do that. I don't like cooking. Couldn't stand cooking for an entire day. To have everything meal prepped for the week, not my thing. So what I do is when I make like noodles or rice or chicken, I try to make 2 to 4 meals worth. So if I'm making noodles, I'll make probably half to the whole bag. I just buy the single pound bags or boxes, and I will make it all up, and then I will split it into like 4 or 5 containers, however many it takes. And I'll have some then, and then I'll have some for the next couple days for lunch and dinner. So helpful because you can just like, oop, grab it and go. And you just don't have to think about it. Like I said, I'm all about streamlining, making things as stupid easy as you can, because it seems like you're overthinking it. But then when you're running late and you just open the fridge and grab like a thing of yogurt, whether you buy a big thing and pre-portion it out or you buy the single serve ones, you get your main Tupperware dish, maybe a piece of fruit, some veggies, something like that. It is so much easier to just boom, 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 grab and go than it is to be like, oh shit, what can I make for lunch? What can I take? So my third tip is to create a boundary between work and home. So a lot of people don't necessarily do this, and they are working when they are off the clock, or you know, you can't really keep your personal life outside of work. You're more emotionally involved in that stuff. So it is hard to like check it at the door and like say, I'll see you later. I'll pick you up when I can leave. But I try my best to go in with a really positive attitude and just, you know, be that little ray of sunshine that like other people might need. And I just hate going into work when you see people and they're like, hey, like, no, I want to be like, hey, how's the day going? Like, it's gonna be a great day. Like, you just gotta pump out the positivity. And I really try to do that at work. Doing administrative type work is kind of redundant and boring sometimes. So you just gotta give it that little extra oomph to like, it's gonna be a good day. And when I leave, everything from work goes out of my head. Like, very rarely will I be like, oh shit, I didn't do that thing. I forgot this, you know, whatever it is. So I'll send an email from my personal to my work email and be like, hey, do this tomorrow. But I've only done that like once or twice just because of the nature of what I do. It's very different from people that are in like the sciencey side of healthcare, like nursing or any doctors or anyone on that side of it. There's higher stakes, obviously, and they can't necessarily leave it at the door either way they're going. So as much as you can, try to create that boundary. Don't let people think that you're always going to be available after hours, because you essentially train people how you want to be treated. So if you're always like, yes, 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 like up until 11, 12 o'clock at night, and you've been out of work for almost 8 hours at that point, they're going to start walking all over you and expecting you to do that. I have had jobs where they expect you to like pick up the extra stuff as just like a, I don't know, like a courtesy, but like not a courtesy. I don't know. I've worked for some very toxic environments before, and thankfully that is not the kind of environment I work in now. I don't really have to worry about anything once I leave. So in the off chance that, you know, my boss does have questions for me on like weird things that have been going on, like we always get weird problems on like a Friday night. So there's been a few times where my boss calls me and she's like, I'm really sorry to be calling you outside of work. Like, but what is this? So, you know, it's fine when it's every now and then, but don't let people expect it from you all of the time. Nobody should be a slave to their job, whether you run your own business, whether you work for a major company, whether you work for a small business, whatever it is. Like, you need to still live your life. You should work to live, not live to work. Even if you like your job like I do, if you genuinely enjoy the people you work with and like the environment and whatever, you still need to create that separation, because eventually you will get burnout if you aren't separating it. And that leads us into tip number 4. You need to do something every single day that you genuinely enjoy. So for some people, that could be taking a walk outside in nature, whether it's before work, after work. If you enjoy painting, reading, working out, playing pickup games of like soccer, baseball, football, whatever it is, do that. You know, see your friends, hang out, do whatever makes you genuinely enjoy living. You need to do that kind of stuff every single day, like at least one thing. It doesn't have to be a lot. Like if you like reading, read a chapter, read for 10, 15 minutes, something small, but something enjoyable, because you don't want to spend all of your time just waiting for the weekend and living for the weekend, because where is all that time during the week? Where is that going? You know, don't just scroll on TikTok or Instagram all of the time. Like, there are days I come home and Bailey and I go outside. I take her out, go potty, let her play outside for a little bit, and then we come in and I lay in my bed and I'm just scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, watching YouTube videos, whatever it is. And then I look up and realize it is dark in my room because it has turned nighttime. And I've just been scrolling mindlessly. And then I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. And it's like 9:30 at night. And I'm like, where did my evening go? Like, so, you know, do things you enjoy, but don't make it something that is just mindless. That's the big takeaway from this video. Enjoy your life. Tip 5 is to learn how to enjoy your commute. So sometimes I'll listen to music and just like rock out before work. Those are the days, you know, I just feel like tired, like I could have used a couple extra hours of sleep, like today. I had a single pop yesterday, and that was at like 12:30, 1 o'clock. The caffeine in that hit me so hard later in the night. I could not go to sleep until like almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and I had to be up at 6. So like all morning I was like, oh God, I'm so tired. And I didn't have time to make coffee because I was going too slow in the morning. So what I ended up doing was like jamming out in my car on the way to work. Not every day is like that. A lot of days I like to listen to either a podcast. Sometimes it's more of like the fun lifestyle ones, like Pretty Basic, Wild Till 9, Gals on the Go, that kind of vibe. But then other days I like to listen to the more informative ones, like The Morning Announcements, The Skinny Confidential. Absolutely, Chef's Kiss, best podcast I've ever listened to. Audiobooks are where it's been for me the last couple months. So I just really enjoy. I never thought I would be this person. I never thought I would enjoy audiobooks, but there's just something about a good narrator and like a good story just meshing together, and it's just, oh, it's so good. Another podcast you should give a go is Fun on Weekdays by Jenna Palik. She is originally a TikTok creator who graduated last year, I believe, in 2020, got a job at TikTok by posting her resume in like TikTok format on the app. It was genius, and she got the job, and I've just like been following her since because she's such a cool girl. So she recently started a podcast, I think in like August, called Fun on Weekdays, and it's all about living your best life every day, not just living for the weekend. And that's kind of been like the vibe of this video. So definitely go check her out. I listen on Spotify, but it's probably on every major listening platform like Apple, Spotify. I don't know what else there is to listen to podcasts because those are the only ones I would use. So there you have it. Those are my 5 best tips for working a 9-to-5. I really hope you enjoyed this video, found it helpful. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know because I could probably come up with some more tips, tricks, ideas. Let me know if you want to keep this going as a series, whether it's post-grad diaries, post-grad problems, post-grad whatever. I'm your girl. Finally got that degree. So yeah, with all that being said, thank you so much for watching this week's video, and I will see you again very, very soon in a brand new video. Okay, bye guys!